Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be somewhat of a different video. It's not going to be me cooking, but it's going to be talking about a cause which I really care about. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, so I'm glad I can finally do it now. So if you want to hear more about food waste, then please stick around for the whole video to gain some valuable knowledge. But if not, then make sure to come back next week and we'll be on our regular schedule. Let's get started, shall we? It's so easy to focus on the negative side of food waste. So I'm just going to give a quick overview of what the issue of food waste is, then focus on the more positive stuff that's been happening around the world. According to the UN, about 900 million tonnes of food is wasted each year, and 60% of that is in the household. It is also said that 30% of food that is produced is thrown away. And if food waste was a country, it'd be the third biggest emitters of greenhouse gases, behind, you guessed it, the US and China. So let's look at some pioneers who are trying to address that problem. So one country that's been really pushing forward with trying to solve the problem is South Korea. According to a recent report by the WEF, they now recycle 95% of food that is wasted. Back in 1995, they were recycling 2% of that. A monumental shift and an absolutely amazing feat, which I think most countries can look to as a example of how we can solve that problem. They have special machines where you deposit your food waste, and depending on how much it weighs is how much you pay. So it encourages you to buy less but also waste less at the same time. An Israeli company named Wasteless has developed an AI which highlights food nearing its use-by dates and reduces its price accordingly. Truly a wonderful, ingenious piece of tech. Another great company is Too Good To Go. It's an app which allows you to buy discounted restaurant food that was essentially going to waste. More on them later. A tech company based in Toronto which uses food waste as an alternative to plastic. Overall, there are some great strides being made by some truly industry disrupting companies, as well as some countries who are pushing forward. Now let's focus on something that we can do. I understand there has to be some fundamental change within our supply chains and within our key policies that we have throughout our government, but there are a few things that we can do at the moment. I just wanted to add this because I thought it would be valuable as I'm editing at the moment. But about a third of the fruit and veg that is rejected is being rejected before it even reaches the supermarket because of how it looks, whether it's the wrong shape, the wrong size, the wrong colour. Not that there's anything wrong with the specific product, but just because of the cosmetics of it. Now, it's important to find something that requires little change but has monumental effect. I think a great place to start with this is just by downloading two apps. One is Too Good To Go and the other is Olio. Olio is a free surplus food platform where you share food that would initially go to waste. Pret a Manger have started putting their unsold food there, so check out Olio to see if your local Pret is participating. If you wanted to get involved further, you could volunteer as a food waste hero to distribute within your local community. And Too Good To Go. This app is genius because it allows you to eat out for cheap whilst helping the planet. It was founded in Denmark and has since saved over 50 million meals. An absolutely incredible feat. And once the hospitality sector reopens, make sure to check if your favourite restaurants are offering discounted food. I think those two apps are great. I've used them in the past when I lived in Brighton, and I managed to get some great meals from some of my favourite places. It's definitely worth checking out if you like to eat out, but are worried about costs. One thing that I think everyone can do, and something that we've started in our household, is to change the way we look at the food that we throw away. So from peelings to bones, we think to ourselves, what can we use this to make an extra meal? A good example of this is if you and your family have a roast on a Sunday, the peelings that you get from potatoes or chopping onions or excess cabbage, you can just put into a pot, quickly rinse it a few times to get rid of any excess starch, and then just boil it in a pot to make some wonderful vegetable stock. What we did a couple of days ago when we had a roast was to get all the meat from the chicken and then put the chicken carcass into a saucepan and then boiled it for a couple of hours, and then that stock we used to make a risotto with some leftover vegetables that we had as well. So It's all about being creative, and this is a great place to get started if you want to look to reduce your food waste. Another great way is to plan your meals throughout the week, so that stops you from buying excess food and sort of limits you in a way, as the average household throws around £700 worth of food away. I feel planning your meals out will prevent you from wasting as many meals as the average household does. Instead of looking at it from a perspective of rubbish, look at it from a perspective of how can I use every piece of this product efficiently. Essentially what I'm talking about is a way to save money and help the planet at the same time. Something that I think we can all appreciate is worth it. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I'm just talking about apps that I've used in the past, and I want to highlight some great companies that are doing some fantastic work. If you want to see more recipe ideas around food waste, please leave a comment down below. And I'll probably make a part 2 of this because I love highlighting some positive news, as I believe it's great for your mental health. I'll leave a link to the companies I mentioned and some useful articles that will help you in reducing your food waste. And I'll see you soon.